how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. Today's video is going to be a 3 looks with 3 palettes. I'm very excited. I have 3 really fun palettes to share with you and I just can't wait to dive in. They're all such completely different vibes. I went for 3 very different looks with all of them and we're gonna get into it. As always, I'll be doing close-ups of the palettes, swatches, all that fun stuff, 1 look with each palette, and I do intend on doing additional looks on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. 2 of them, I've already done that, so you already have additional inspo if you need it, and the other one will be coming soon. So yeah, without further ado, let's just hop in and chat about the palettes I'm gonna be talking about today. First is the Singe Beauty Galactic Visitor. I'm so excited. This went up for like pre-order, I think, around the end of November, and I think like the launch has like been going out ever since then. This arrived to me literally right before I left on vacation for the holidays, so I had to put this on the back burner until I returned. But I'm back and I've been having a blast with this. This is one of the ones I already have a look up on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts, so I've been playing with it already. But she's very cute. We have kind of a half warm, half cool, we have kind of like a dustier vibe mixed with these rich, darker shades. I really like the contrast of these really dark, deepening shades with all these fun, funky tones. I love the shimmers. The shimmers are really, really pretty. This is Singe's first time doing a palette and I'm really excited about it. I'm excited to see where it goes from here. So yeah, this is the Galactic Visitor. And of course, I'll have all of these down below. 2 of these palettes are already available. 1 is coming soon, so I'll get to that. But yeah, this one has already launched, so I'll have it linked down below for you. Next is the Beaute Cosmetics Metamorph palette. I bought myself the vintage neutrals and urban neutrals when they launched. I want to say on Thanksgiving, and the brand was so kind and included this and another palette into my box, and I've been loving the Metamorph. I already played with this one as well on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts, so it's just been such a blast. This is such a beautiful color story. I love these tones. The shimmers are incredible, like breathtakingly beautiful. This brand is quickly becoming one of my top favorites. I'm just so into how easily these shades blend. The shimmers are just so striking and delicious, and I'm very, very pleased with this. So yeah, this is the Metamorph palette. And again, this one has already launched. Link down below for you. Last but not least is Nomad Cosmetics' newest release. This is the Chamonix Après-Ski palette, and it is so beautiful. We have such a fun arrangement of these like dusty berry tones with the fun wintry greens and the rich blues. I love this kind of matte periwinkle-ish shade. Just very dusty yet vibrant, very wintry. Like this is exactly what I'm craving for winter right now. So this is just perfect. I think it is stunning. It's what I'm wearing right now, if you can't tell. And I'm very much looking forward to diving into this again for like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. It is just so cool. The metallics are so shiny and I just love this balance of tones. I think they're very fun. This one is launching on Tuesday, January 14th around 12:01 a.m. EST. And of course, I will have it linked down below and you can use my affiliate code BATTYBEAN to save on their site. I did want to quickly hold it up next to the Whistler Snow Lodge. This was previously my favorite winter palette they've ever done, but this one has stolen the show for sure. Now, I definitely don't think these are the same, but I did want to hold them up next to each other because I feel like I'm gonna get asked if they're similar. There's definitely similar things, like there's blues, there's greens, but I feel like they're different energy. This one's more of that dusty berry green blue vibe, whereas this one is a lot more kind of like half warm, half cool, kind of cozy cabin snuggled up next to a fire. That's what I think when I see these 2 palettes. I feel like they're very much like cousins to each other. They had things in common. They're related in some ways, but they're really very different. I can't tell you if you need both. If you already have this one, that's truly up to you to decide, but I can just say for me, this one steals the show for sure. And I'm pretty sure this one got discontinued. So if this is one that you missed out on and you wish you could have it again, maybe this one will kind of scratch that itch. But again, they are pretty different as well. So it just kind of depends on what you need out of a palette. So yeah, that's the overview of what I'm going to be playing with today. Let's get into the looks. And then at the end, I'll give you my final thoughts so far on these palettes. Hi friends, how's it going? I'm gonna get into this 3 looks video. I wanna start with my Singe Galactic Visitor. I've played with this once already on like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm excited to dive in again. I wanna do something a little more warm, so playing with like these 3. And then I do want a pop of these minty colors in the mix as well. I think it's gonna be so cute, so we're gonna dive in. I'm gonna start by priming with my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Eye Primer. Just gonna smear this on and blend it out. I hope you're doing well. I hope your week is going well. I'm very excited to be doing this video. I have some palettes I've been wanting to play with, either for the first time or for a second time. and I'm just ready. So gonna start with Peace, this reddish color. I'm gonna use my Sigma E27. Just gonna start by just kind of packing it in that outer corner. I'm not really doing a whole lot of sweeping and blending just yet. Kind of like that. This color's pretty. It goes with my hair nicely. But I'm just kind of packing it, just creating kind of like a blob in the outer corner. Just doing light little taps. Again, I'm not really sweeping and blending just yet. I'm just kind of placing. I am going to also tuck some of this in the outer corner of that lower lash line, and I'll just make sure it kind of connects into that outer corner. Oh, I already like that. Okay, so let's move on to Hoodoo's, this peach. I'm gonna be using my Sigma E38 brush for this, and I'm actually gonna start at the bottom, and I'm gonna use very, very, very light pressure. I don't wanna start dragging this reddish shade all around. I really wanna keep it kind of where I placed it, but I'm just using this peachy shade to very lightly diffuse it. I'm even gonna use one of my Sigma color switches to wipe my brush off periodically. And then I'll go back in with a little bit more. Well, these are blending really nice so far. I'm liking that. I mean, this isn't my first time using this palette, but it is my first time using these particular shades. I used the blue mattes the first time I played with this, but these are looking really nice. That's pretty. Cute, cute, cute. So I want to deepen things up a bit now, so I'm going to take Cowgirl. Yeehaw. I'm going to use this Alter Ego number 201 brush. It's kind of like a little blendy guy, and I'm just going to add a little bit of extra depth in the outer corner of my lid and lower lash line. Nothing too crazy. I just want to add a little bit of extra smokiness before I go in with my bright pops of like minty blue. All right, taking that very first brush that I used, no additional product, I'm just gonna very lightly kind of do little circular motions, kind of on top of what I just put down, just to help blend that brown a little bit more and let it fade into this reddish situation that I have going on. I'm really liking this though. I think that's really pretty, very dramatic. Very cool. I'll also take just a smidgen more of that peach, just like the tiniest bit. And I'll just kind of like run that along the edges one more time as well, just to blend that a little bit further. I really like that gradient. I think that's pretty. So for the lid and inner corner, that is where everything else is gonna shine. I really want Saucer, this matte shade, in my inner corner. And then I want Beam kind of all over the lid, kind of connecting the two. I think it'll be really cool. A really fun splash of color to kind of add some contrast to this red. So I'm gonna use my Shine On Primer. Where's the label? Between Clionadh and Bad to the Brow, I'm just going to pop a little bit of this on. This is just gonna help my shimmer pop even more. I have makeup all over my hands. I am so messy sometimes. So I'm just gonna start with a little bit of Beam. I'm going to just like press that, yep, all across the lid. That is so pretty. Oh, it's so good. I like that a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. I'll just take my first brush from the beginning of this look and just kind of make sure that's blending from matte to shimmer nicely. I didn't have any additional product. I'm just kind of scooting. Now I'm just gonna take this Artitude Cosmetics number 5 brush, and I'm gonna take that Saucer shade, that matte mint. And I'm just gonna lightly press this in that inner corner. And I'll kind of drag it in a little bit. I don't need it to go all the way in. And I'll do the same thing with blending it upwards, just so that we have a nice fade going on into that shimmer. I think that is so cool. What a fun pop. I really like that. One more thing I want to do to this look, my challenge for myself this month, is to include one of my Menagerie Moonlit Metal Toppers in every single look that I do in some shape or form, whether it's bold or subtle. And I am going to add a little accent to all of my looks in this video as well. So this is Adelie. It kind of has a little bit of warmth, a little bit of mint, so I thought it would suit nicely. I'm going to use this little Blend Bunny B3 pencil brush. I'm just going to take a little bit of this. And I just want to add a little bit of sparklage to this front corner of that lower lash line. Honestly, it kind of ties in that inner corner and lets it fade into that smoky lower lash line pretty nicely. Yeah, I think that's fun. Just adds a little something, something. You know, what if I even put some on my brow bone for a little brow bone sparkle? You know, it's subtle, but it's cute. It's like when the light hits it just right, that's when you see it. That's a fun little addition. Okay, threw on my mascara. This is the Milk Makeup Kush High Roll, and my eye pencil. This is Icebreaker from ColourPop. I just think this is so pretty. I really like this combination of colors. I like this contrast. I think it's very fun. I really like the addition of the sparklage on my lower lash line. So for my lips, I actually want a really bold shade. I feel like maybe this darker red could be cool just to pull forth even more of that warmth from my eyes and really my hair. But yeah, Anthurium from Menagerie just seems like the perfect fit. This is one of my favorite reds of all time. It's so good. It's such a nice like wine burgundy shade. Do you start with your top lip or your bottom lip when you do lipstick? I always start with my bottom. I don't know why. Oh, this color was a good choice. I think this came out so cute. I just love this contrast between the warmth and the mint. It's all so pretty, and I just love the way it all played together. It's so bold, so dramatic. I'm in love. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed look number 1. Let's move on to look number 2. Hi friends, let's get into look number 2. I want to play with the Artitude Metamorph palette. Again, I have already played with this once on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, all that jazz, and I loved it. I'm really enjoying this brand. I tried them for the first time at the end of last year. I bought the Urban Neutrals and Vintage Neutrals, and then the brand was so kind and slipped in this palette and the Obsidian, which I'm very excited to get into at some point as well. But I'm really liking this brand. I feel like the mattes blend beautifully and the shimmers are just like on another level. So, so pretty. I really want to play with some of the blues today. Maybe a splash of this like pinky purple multi-chrome situation. I want to do a halo eye, I think. I think it'll be really cool. So let's dive into it. As far as my accessories go, I don't really have a whole lot going on. I didn't really wear anything in look number 1, but for this look, I have this choker from Shop Sun & Co, and that's about it. So yeah, I'm just gonna prime with my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer again. Just gonna smear this on and blend it out. So I wanna start with Peacock, this vibrant blue. I'm gonna use my Sigma E27 brush, and I'm just going to kind of pack this on the inner and outer part of my lid. I'm not gonna do any crazy blending just yet. I'm just laying the shade down. It's a really nice shade of blue. I like that. But yeah, just doing that to the inner and outer. I'm gonna make sure to leave the center of my lid totally blank throughout this look as much as possible, just to give that, you know, halo effect where we have that brightness, that spotlight, if you will, in the middle. So yeah, kind of like that. I'm gonna do the same to the lower lash line. I'm gonna just kind of pop this mostly on the inner and outer. I am going to smoke my lower lash line out with a pop of color, that multi-chrome I was mentioning earlier. But I do still want a little bit of that haloed effect with the mattes. So yeah, kind of a weird start. I feel like halo eyes always start kind of weird, and then they end up turning into something really, really cool. So now I want to start blending it out with Flutter, this like kind of almost periwinkle, a little bit of a bluish lavender. I'm gonna use this Alter Ego 204 brush. I actually grabbed a little too much of that. And I'm just gonna very, very lightly just start kind of blending at the edges of the inner and outer. Again, I wanna leave the middle as blank as possible, so I'm gonna really try not to connect as I'm blending. Look how nice that's looking already. I've just been really, really impressed with this brand in like the month that I've been trying them and playing around with them. Very, very impressed. Like, look at that. I barely had to put in any effort, and it's already so blurred and so pretty. Clionadh just ran in here with such zoomies. Are you kidding? Her and Riku are playing chase right now. What are you two doing? You guys being wild and crazy? Cats are something else. I saw a cute cat video on Instagram the other day, as I always do. I feel like my feeds on any social media ever are just cat videos. But I was reading the comments on one, and it was like, cats are so cool. It's a shame they're not real. And that like cracked me up, because cats really do seem like they're like mythical creatures or something. Wow, I love that. It looks so glowy. Like, that looks like it has such a glow to it. That's really nice. I really liked look number 1, but now I already have a feeling this one might beat look number 1. So I do want to deepen it up just a smidgen. Like, I'm tempted to leave it like this and start going in with the haloing, but I really want to deepen it up just a little bit more. So I want to take Hybrid. I'm just going to take literally the smallest amount. I'm going to use this angled Luxie 131 brush. I grabbed the smallest amount, tapped it off, and I just want to press this really close to the lashes on the inner and outer, just to give the teeniest bit more smokiness. I think that'll just make it all come together really cool. So just pushing it really, really close to those lashes, just for the tiniest bit of added dimension. It's honestly not going to change it that much, but I feel like These little details go a really long way in eye looks. I feel like I personally, at least, I really like seeing dimension in my looks. I don't want it to just look like one note. So really taking the time to do these extra teeny little details really just bring forth a little bit more to it. I'm just gonna take my first brush that I used, no additional product. Again, very light hand. I'm barely putting any pressure. I'm just lightly blending and blurring where I put that darker shade down just to get that diffused. See, I feel like that just made a little bit of difference. It just added a little extra impact. I like it. And then I'm gonna take my brush I used with the lightest shade. Again, no additional product, but just to add one more round of blending around the edges. So far, this is looking like one of my favorite halos I've ever done. I just really like this color that's going on, and I feel like it all just looks very soft and very diffused and has that glowy look to it. Something about these colors looks very glowy to me. So going in with my shimmer primer next, I'm gonna take my Bad to the Brow and Clionadh Shimmer Stay. I'm just gonna tap a little right in the center. I'm just gonna use my finger and tap that out. So I really wanna use Cocoon. It's just such a pretty, reflective, shiny shade. Yes. So that's gonna go right in the very center. I like to just take a little bit to start and then I'll kind of build it up. And then as I'm happy with like the intensity in the center, that's when I'll kind of go and start tapping toward the inner and outer. Because I'm gonna get that natural gradient anyways, just because of the way I place the mattes down. And then the way it overlaps on like my blank skin versus the mattes, it's just gonna give a really cool gradient. Look at that. That is so cool, I love it. I know I've already like gushed over this brand, but I can't believe I slept on them. I regret everything. I'm so into this. It's so funny when you like, I don't know, finally get around to trying a brand you've had your eye on and they like basically become an instant favorite. I'm like, what have I been doing? What have I been holding off on? Oh, I just really like that. I actually want to make sure I even bring this all the way up to like my brow bone. I just really want that sparkle kind of everywhere. I just think that looks so magical. Look at that. So I could do the same thing to the lower, and I am tempted. But part of me wants to smoke it out with that multi-chrome. So let's just try that. It might have ended up being like a mistake and I would have rather take it a step back, but you know what? Let's try. So I'm gonna take Floral here. I'm gonna use this B2 pencil brush from Blend Bunny, and I just want to smush this against my lower lash line. Focusing in the center, like I still kind of want that haloed look, but just with a different splash of color. I think it'll add something. Oh, I'm already so thrilled. Why did I doubt myself? This is really cool. Like it would have been really cool to either smoke it out with just blue or add that shiny shade in the middle on the lower lash as well. But this really does kind of tie it together really nicely. I think that plays together really, really well. I am, however, still kind of gushing over that Cocoon shade. So I kind of want to, I'm like gonna look up, like I'm even gonna tilt my head up so I can really fit my finger. And I'm gonna really press that just on the center bottom, kind of wiggle it around for just like a little bit of extra, like it kind of gives that like tear effect a little bit. Like I'm not dragging it down super far, but just enough. I feel like that really brought it to life even more and kind of connected what the top is doing. Sometimes like a weird technique, like that's just what you need to do. For the inner corner, I do want to take Renew. I'm just gonna use my pinky. Whoa. I've used this shade before, I think, and I forgot how cool it is. Oh, I'm so torn. Look number one was really, really cool, but this one is something else. Like I just love the way all the shimmer's playing. And now in the spirit of me trying to use one of my menagerie toppers in every look, I think I'm gonna take Amylite, and I think I'm just gonna add a sprinkle of this to the inner corner. I know that's like such a cheating way of like incorporating this, but I don't really want to change too much about this look. I'm just gonna add a little extra sparkle. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool actually. Just kind of heightened it a little bit more. Okay, throw on my mascara. Just use that same Milk Makeup one that I used yesterday. Everything will be linked in the description box as usual. And then I used the Kaleidos Night of Creation pencil. I just felt like the blue purple multi-chrome was just the perfect pick for that lower lash line. Really, really like how this all is coming together. And then for lips, honestly, I just want something kind of pinky and simple. So I'm gonna start with Desert Mauve pencil from Lawless. I'm just gonna line and slightly fill in. I love this dusty pink color. So I'm just going to go in now with the Moment from Freck. Just kind of another dusty pink shade. It's a little brighter than the pencil, but it's just gonna add some nice dimension, and I really like the texture of these lipsticks. Oh, that is so pretty. I like this combo with this dusty lip and the bright eyes. So yeah, this is the second look. I love how it came out. It's just so sparkly and glossy looking. Very happy with this. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Let's move on now to look number 3. Okay, let's get into look number 3. I'm gonna use the new Nomad palette, and I'm so excited. It's so pretty. So many cool shades. I love the kind of berry, green, blue combo. Very much what I'm into right now. Like, this is pretty much the epitome of what I want out of winter makeup right now. So I kind of want to incorporate all 3 of those elements. I want to do kind of a big winged shiny shadow sort of shape where it's like the berry into the blue and then smoked out green on the lower lash. I think it's going to be very cool. So we're going to dive in. As far as my accessories, I just have this necklace, and I've had it for 1,000 years. I literally don't know where it's from. I almost want to say Raven Beads, but I don't even know if that shop exists anymore. I literally bought this probably a decade ago. So I'm going to start by priming with the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip as per usual. Just going to blend this out. I think I am going to fluff a little bit of something in the crease. I thought I was just going to go in with the wing, but I do think I want to fluff something. I think I'm going to mix these 2 dusty berry shades together. I'm going to use my Sigma E40 brush, and I'm just kind of like tapping like back and forth between the shades just to get like a little bit of a mixture. And I'm just gonna lightly fluff this through the crease just so I have a little teeny smidgen of a base behind my wing, just to help prevent any transfer from happening. I do make my wings fairly big when I do a big shimmer shadow wing, so that like I'm already incorporating like any like where my lid would touch. But this just helps kind of ensure that a little bit more. And it also looks pretty. I do like that shade. That's really, really nice. Very soft, dusty, mauvey berry tone. So now I'm going to go in with my shimmer primer. This is the Shine On from Clionadh and Bad to the Brow. I'm pretty sure I've been using it for this whole video so far. But I'm just going to start by kind of smearing it across my lid. And then I'll kind of like start carving out where I want my like wing to be. And then I'm just going to use this flat Unearthly brush, the 8-9. And I'll just kind of start really carving out where I want that wing to be again, just keeping it really precise. And I do want it to kind of fan out toward my tail. So I'm going to be using this metallic darker berry on the inner half, and I want the Shot Ski metallic blue on the outer, just like really dark, bold, pretty. So let's start with that bold berry shade using that same Unearthly brush. And I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of pack it down about halfway across the lid. Not doing any shape building just yet, just kind of placing the shadow in the area that I want it to be. And now I'll go through and start kind of really carving out that front shape. I want it to be very structured, very much a bold, shiny wing. Just kind of really tucking it in deep in that crease. I do like to go slightly above my natural crease just to again account for any transfer. And just kind of following that roundness. So now I'm going to take this angled brush from Unearthly, the 8-10, and I'm going to take that blue metallic now. And I'm going to start by pressing that right up against like where my lower waterline kind of follows. And I just want to start stretching that toward my tail about halfway up or so. And then I'm going to kind of just start tracing that in, because I want it to just kind of fall in to that shape that I've been starting with the berry. So kind of like that, like it's kind of connecting a little bit better. I'll even kind of drag it into the berry just a little bit, because obviously I do want them to blend together. We'll probably get a little bit of a purple fusion in the center. Just using the brush to fill in that very tip, because it's obviously a small area. Just that I'm using a smaller brush now. This is the E04 from Game Beauty. I'm just going to finish coloring in that area, and then once it's all colored in, then I'll worry about blending the 2 shades together so that they melt and merge really nicely. So now I'm basically just going to take both of my brushes with little bits of product, and I'll just kind of start scooting between both brushes until I like the way that they blend and flow together. I think that's looking pretty cool. Yeah, see how it makes like that purple in the middle? It's so pretty. Oh, I am loving this so much. I think it's very cool. So I'm basically gonna start with Mont Blanc and have it fade into Ski. I think that'll be a cool combo. So I'm gonna use my Game Beauty E03. It's just like an angled little brush, like a fluffy angled brush. I'm just gonna start really packing that on this outer third of my lid. I do want it to blend a little bit into this blue wing that I have going on. Kind of get a merge between those colors. Now I'm gonna take my Alter Ego 204 brush and I'm gonna take Ski, that lighter green. I'm just gonna really pile it on. And then just really fluff and blend this lower third of my eye look and just kind of blending it down and out. I am incorporating a little bit of that outside of the wing into this as well. Still keeping the wingy structure, but letting the lower part of it kind of get a little more diffused and blendy. Thinking that's looking really cool, having that green in there. The green element is really just like adding that extra pizzazz to it. So I do think I want to use both shimmer greens. I just can't help myself. So I want to use the dark one and the mid-toned one. I'm going to use my Blend Bunny B3 pencil brush. I'm going to start by pressing this darker one in that darker area that I've already been doing a lot of the smoky stuff to. Especially because I do feel like it connects nicely into that wing to have some more shimmer out here as well. And now wiping that exact same brush off and taking Apres, the lighter shimmer green, and I'm just going to really pack and coat it in this front pocket of that lower lash. That's really, really cool. I'm just gonna blend the edges of that with the brush I was using before to blend the greens before I went in with the shimmer. I like this combo, it's very fun. So I think I wanna use the Les Alpes shade at the top. Just, you know, kind of the shiny reflective shade that has the pinky shift. Actually has a bit of a pinky blue shift, that's really cool. I feel like that ties it all together nicely. And then of course, incorporating my Menagerie Moonlit Metal Topper in my look like I've been doing with every look. I'm gonna take Glasswing. I just feel like this has shifts that kind of match things that I have going on. So I'm gonna take my Gavissi GV08 brush. It's like a very skinny liner brush. I kind of just want a really thin line. I can't decide if I want the entire top or just the pink half, but I'm gonna start with the pink and see how I like it. I'm just gonna kind of trace the outside of this. So that's also gonna give it a little extra definition. I'm gonna make it look really, really pretty. Just taking tiny bits at a time. Just slowly dragging it across. Yeah, I like it just being on like the front half, just to add a little bit of definition, a little something. It doesn't change it too much. It just adds that little detail and I love it. I was doing my lip and talking to you and I realized I didn't re-hit record, but I did. Throw on my mascara, the same Milk Makeup Kush High Roll, and then my eye pencil today is Spare Time from Colourpop. I just went with like a dark green to go with that lower lash. And then the lip that I'm working on is Love Bite from Menagerie. I just felt like this would go with that lid so well, and I'm so happy with this decision. So I'll just continue actually recording this time and applying this lip, but I'm very happy with this decision. I think it all came together so nicely. So yeah, here's the third and final look. I hope you like it. I had such a fun time doing this look. These are definitely just the colors I'm craving right now for winter, so it feels pretty perfect. I love the shape. I love just the way all these fun tones play together. I'm very pleased with this. So yeah, let's go ahead and zoom out and I'll give you my thoughts so far on these palettes. Thank you so much for watching my video. I had such a fun time and I literally cannot pick a favorite look. I've loved all three of these looks so much. I think they were all very cool, very bold, very contrasting, and just fun. I got compliments in real life. Well, I mean, I guess I haven't today yet, because I'm still sitting here in this room. But the last two looks over the last 2 days, I got compliments in real life multiple times when I wore them to work. And I felt really good. I think these are all very fun. So you'll have to let me know which look was your favorite. Let's talk about these palettes, shall we? First is the Singe Galactic Visitor. I love the theming. It's very cool, very funky and fun. I'm pretty impressed so far. I felt like I didn't have any issues with blending. Again, I have played with this a couple times already, and I feel like I didn't have any issues with the blending. I felt like the mattes, with even how dark they are, performed really well. I feel like they add really nice depth and contrast, but still blendable. Like, they weren't difficult to work with. And I really like all these pops of lighter mattes as well. You know me, I am personally running the war against beige, so I personally could have done without these two shades, but I totally understand the value of them for some people. So they're there. I do like that they're very different tones. Like, one's a bit more of a peachy transition shade, while one's more of like a, yellowy beige transition depending on like what you need. They're not something I need in a palette, but I'm not going to discredit the rest of the palette for those shades just because that's such a personal preference and so nitpicky, but I know a lot of people find value in that. The shimmers are really pretty. I've been very happy with just how glowy and shiny they are on the lids. I'm really pleased with this. I'm very excited about their newest palette, their first palette at that. And I'm excited to see what the brand does going forward. I feel like they've been doing a really great job. Angelica's been killing it with the different brushes, and the blushes are my favorite thing so far. First palette, I'm excited to see where the brand goes from here. The Artitude Metamorph palette, like I said in the beginning, this brand is quickly becoming one of my top favorites. I'm just so impressed. Everything from just the theming, the art, the shades on the inside, the formulas, like literally some of the most blendable mattes I've used. I feel like very similar to Blend Bunny in the sense that like I really don't have to work very hard to get them to blend. Like they kind of just blend themselves, and it's just wonderful to see. I'm just so in awe with how the different shimmers look on my eyes between this palette and the other ones that I've tried from them. Just, it always looks so beautiful. I always feel so pretty. I feel like it looks just so, I don't know, otherworldly. That's like the first word I can think of. I'm just very impressed with this. I think these colors are very fun. This was one I was tempted to buy myself, but when I was purchasing the other two palettes, I didn't want to buy too many palettes, like, because what if I ended up not liking the brand? So I am thrilled that the brand did throw this palette into my order because I'm so in love with it. I think it is very pretty. The different multi-chromes, like these two, are to die for. I loved this shimmer being all over the lid in that second look. It's just, it's such a fun time. So very impressed with this brand so far. And last is the new Nomad palette. I just think this is so pretty. The theming is very, very cool. I want to be here right now. Can we please? It's actually been very chilly in Florida lately. We're going through a cold spell here. So I've been very much enjoying being bundled up, but I would love to be here with the mountains in France, you know, like that would be great. But I'm very into this one. Like definitely one of my top favorites the brand has done, just because I really, really like this color story, and the timing for me is just perfect since I'm very much into these exact tones right now. It just could not have been a better fit. I think this is gorgeous. I always love Nomad's mattes. I feel like they're just so easy to work with. I always say they're beginner friendly because they're just so buildable and blendable and easy. I feel like you can never overdo it, but they're also not so sheer that they're like boring to work with or anything. Like you can get intense color payoff with them, but they're also very just easy to not go overboard with. The shimmers are gorgeous. I feel like they're very just shiny and metallic, specifically like this berry shade. I'm in love with it. It's so cool. So yeah, I feel like Nomad started out with a bang beginning of the year, so love to see it. I would love to hear your thoughts. What do you think of the looks, the palettes, all that good stuff? 2 of them are already released, so I'd love to know if you already have either of those. Do you have your eyes on any of these 3? Do you plan on picking anything up? I would love to hear your thoughts down below. If you made it to the end of this video, out of these 3 palettes, pick your favorite and leave emojis to represent that palette. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm BATTYBEAN there as well. And also you can subscribe. I'm posting most days over here. Also, if you want to, you can check my description box and hop over to my second channel if you want some additional content. And also you can join my channel memberships. Also in my description box, there's a couple different tiers with a couple different perks, and I would love to have you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.